Hey folks, I'm here with Richard at the SeaAngel booth at the Miami International Boat Show. He's going to explain a product that I think any of us that do the offshore kayak fishing, which you've done some offshore kayak fishing here down in Florida, should have to make sure that we all make it home safely.
Okay. Yeah, this is our man overboard beacon. It's the smallest man overboard beacon in the world. It broadcasts on DSC and AIS. And the AIS part of it is what I'm going to explain and show to you today. There's two ways to activate this beacon. You can either pull the ripcord or you can push the button. I'll go ahead and push the button. I've now activated the unit. The first thing it's going to do is look for GPS. When that light's solid red, it's looking for GPS and it'll start blinking once it's acquired GPS. Strobe light's going to be going off at the same time. Now this is broadcasting a man overboard position to every vessel within range. The range is line of sight, so the higher the antenna, or both antennas are, the farther the range is. Typically the range is going to be somewhere between 5 and 10 miles. Okay, and this will broadcast continuously until it's shut down for at least 72 hours. It's waterproof to 20 meters, so you have no problem with it getting wet. We also set these up quite often on inflatable life jackets. And the typical way to set that up is to put have the oral inflator clip on, like that. It clips onto an oral inflator. This lanyard gets tied around the inflation bladder. And when the bladder inflates, when the jacket inflates, it'll actually pull this ripcord out and activate the unit. Once the unit's activated, again, it's broadcasting on AIS to everybody around you as a man overboard. And if you want to see what that looks like, this is on a charting program called OpenCPN, which a lot of people use. Here's what it looks like live. This is this unit right now.
So those red marks are just to help show the other boats in the area, hey, there's someone in distress here.
Yeah.
Come help.
It's to draw your attention to that on your screen.
Right.
You're not going to ignore that.
Okay.
You know, when you see that activated, you're not going to ignore it. Now to turn it off, all I did was I put the magnetic switch back in. I press and hold down the yellow test button very hard for 3 seconds till both lights come on, and then it turns off.
Okay. So what do they cost? How can people order one?
Okay. Well, all our products are made in Austria. For one thing, this is made in Austria to very high standards. We have them here at the boat show. They're normally, right now, the price point on those is $279 per unit. We have a special here at the Fort Lauderdale show, at the Miami show for $249.
Okay.
Okay. My website, since they're made in Austria, I'm the US representative for these. My website is www.aquaventures.net. And you can go online and order them. And there's also a code there for free shipping.
Cool. Richard, tell me the biggest fish you've caught out of a kayak fishing out here in Florida.
Not that big.
Okay.
Probably about maybe a 10-pound. We call them dolphin here.
Yeah.
Other people call them mahi.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was nice. And when I fish here, I'm pretty close to shore. I'm only fishing a couple miles offshore. But remember, in 2 miles, I'm in 300 feet of water.
Right.
And the other thing I don't want to do is get caught in the Gulf Stream and end up, so I'm fishing out of Hollywood, Florida. I don't want to end up in Palm Beach or north of that and have to call my wife and tell her to go get my truck and,
right.
and bring it up there and rescue me. So I try to stay, within bounds. I also do a lot of kayak diving.
Cool. All right, so for, less than $300,
Yeah.
Tell your wife, hey, this is something I need to make sure I come home to you. I
Yeah.
think she'll approve that. We have some hard cases to say, this is why we need this $800 depth finder, or I don't know, $3,000 Torpedo.
Yeah,
she's going to approve this expenditure.
This is definitely cheaper than my depth finder.
Right on.
And the way I carried it, I didn't use an inflatable jacket because I would get wet a lot.
Right.
So I would have it in my pocket, literally. And if I needed it, I would just manually activate it.
Right.
Thankfully, I haven't ever had to use it.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Richard.
Okay, you're welcome.